Twilight Parade Mononoke. Yeah, this is just a shooting game. It's alright. It's not my favourite shooting game in the world, but it's not bad for the price. It's incredibly cheap for what it is. It's quite a bit of game here. It's a lot worse. You could do a lot worse. But yep, this was the first game I beat this year anyway, so yeah. Yuri Sword Saga. This is another side-scrolling shoot-'em-up, and this one's got some odd ideas in it. There's a story and some dialogue and all that. You can't really see in this trailer, but it's a fun game. It's not a game you're going to play for scoring or one crediting, though, because there's no one credit. The difficulty is a bit strange as well, because you get the entire game playing on easy, but if you're playing harder difficulties, it just instantly goes to the boss of the stage and you don't have to play the rest of the level. But the game's harder. There's also an optional area in the game, some optional battles where you fight characters from things, say it's like Toho and other things in it, which are a lot harder than the main game. But yeah, there's another fun game. It's got some slightly fan service stuff in it, if that bothers you, but you can probably tell that by the trailer. Well, anyway, yep, another good one. This game's called Womb Defense Force. Yes, it's got a very strange name. It's obviously inspired by the Earth Defense Force games, because it literally has the mechanics of that, where you get like medikits and you get permanent upgrades and you pick them up and you pick up random weapons and stuff. I have an interesting sort of idea. Like, it reminds me more gameplay-wise of Alien Syndrome by Sega, if you've ever played that. It's alright. I got it pretty cheap, so I got my money's worth out of it. I would say, though, I would not bother with a patch to put the spicy content in, because I think it's a bit rubbish. And even with it in, it's technically still censored, including the blood, which is a bit weird. The Lazy Demon Lord and the Four Stones of Despo. This is an action RPG maker game. It's not. It's a pretty short game, and it's not gonna blow anyone's mind. And does everything it needs to do. It's not buggy or anything. It does have spicy scenes in it, but you'll only get to see them if you have a patch, and even then you can pretty much ignore them outside of the ones after you beat bosses. And you really are bothered about those kind of scenes. These are like you can replay them by going to like a build statue in your house, but you can do that any time. You don't have to even finish the game. So yeah, you can essentially see the bad ending without even finishing the game, which is slightly odd. But anyway, I didn't pay much for this, and I had fun with it anyway, so that's the most important part. We Could Be Heroes. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up game, and there's a lot of incredibly random characters, and it's got a incredibly goofy sense of humour. And you might tell with the trailers, yes, this game, you can basically pick almost anything and just throw it around like crazy. It's almost like one of those like Gary's Mod, like ragdoll games, but it's actually a bit of fun beat-em-up, where you just wail on millions of people. They have some odd ideas, like some of the boss fights are a bit strange, because none of them don't really resemble bosses, they're just like regular enemies. It's kind of odd that way, but it's pretty long. This game took like 4 hours to actually get through all levels. It's probably a lot harder in single player than it is multiplayer, though, because there's a lot of enemies in this game. And then you get to throw them around a lot like crazy. But yeah, it seems really fun if you're into beat-em-up games. It's very, I know it doesn't look very pretty, but for a game made by like one person, yeah, this is great. And it's got a silly sense of humour. If you like these kind of games, you probably enjoy this kind of thing anyway. This is called Raking Scoring Big with Monster Girls, and this is an RPG maker game, which is essentially a game like Pokemon, but you just collect, well, monster girls. It's got a very stupid, goofy sense of humour, but it's definitely not a kids game, because they swear quite a lot in this game. Also, yes, it does have spicy content, but you need a patch to actually view any of it. Interestingly enough, the game itself doesn't actually force you ever to actually do any of that in the game. I mean, you get some text mentioning some of this stuff, but that's really it. It's all on you if you want to do this kind of stuff. And some other interesting ideas, like there's multiple ways to claim most quests in the game, so it's got some replay value in a new game plus, so yeah, it seems actually quite fun. Also, it took me like 20 hours to actually get through it. You can probably do a lot faster than that, so it's not that short either. You can actually spend some time playing this. But yeah, that's this game. You can completely play this game without the patch to make it naughty. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate. This is the hopefully final version of the game Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds, originally on the 360. This one adds extra features to the game that the early version didn't have, like you've now got English voice acting through the story mode, including even the ending credits have an English music version. Of course, you've got Japanese voice acting if you want to use that, but yeah, the main reason to get this one is they added extra characters. Basically, you can basically play as everyone in the game, including all the enemies. You have to go into online and then set a game up for some reason to do this, but every character is playable in the game. I don't know why it's set up like that, but it is. But yeah, and yeah, I class it as beaten because it got a DLC and that adds a new character who has a lot of moves which involve throwing food at people, and I really like large moves set including an entire level included with them, which takes about 10 minutes to beat, which is quite long for a beat 'em up level. I find it a bit strange though that none of the enemies, even though they're new to that mode, are not actually, you can't unlock them and play as them like you can every other enemy in the other story mode. But yeah, this is a fun beat 'em up game. I'd recommend it if you're into these kind of games. I'd get this version over the older versions if you can myself, but that's that then. This game is called Space Dragons, and this is yet another side-scrolling shoot-'em up. I don't know, the sprite work of this game, I don't know, it reminds me of something like that. But I remember why it reminded me of something, and I didn't even realise when I bought the game, but it's by the people who made a game called Cuyo Blaster, which kind of looks like if you mix the game Air Zonk with a Metal Slug game and Cuphead. But yeah, this was the same people who made this, and yeah, this game's not bad. It does have a rather odd like feature though, which is a bit strange. It's like going, while you can technically start off at any level you reach, you have to start from the last level you're on. So if you die at level 6, you have to start at level 5. So that means there's no way actually to play the final level of this game. You have to play level 10 always first, which is kind of a bit odd, even when you're beating it. I don't know why it's like that, but that's how the game was designed. But yeah, this is a decent enough game. Mechanics are alright. It's not ultra complicated or anything like that. Yep, this game's fun. It was worth the time I spent on it, and I 100%ed it. Right, Gradius Origins, and I actually beat all the games in this. Well, I've technically beaten most of them before on earlier Gradius collections. But just credit free, I'm not that good enough to credit these things. But yes, I can call this a beat game since it includes Salamander 3, which is a brand new game, and yes, it's good. So yes, it does actually count as a complete game, even though I've beaten multiple of these games before, years and years ago. Gradius 3 is still stupidly impossible. It's stupidly difficult for some reason, because yeah, this version uses the arcade versions, which are infamously known for being a bit, well, insane difficulty wise. But yeah, that's enough of that. Yep, great collection, highly recommended. And the last game I've fully beat is Uma Musume Pretty Derby. Now, this is technically a free-to-play game, and some people say, well, how can you beat that? It doesn't have an ending. Well, it technically does have an ending, because I got all the Steam achievements on it. So I'm counting that as beating the game, which is actually a much pain in the backside than you think it'd be, because to get one of the achievements you have to get the best ending of the characters, and sometimes the game just don't want you to. And if you wondered what on earth the game plays like, well, ever played Monster Rancher? This game basically just reminds me of that, just without the fights. We have no control over the character and you just watch it instead of. It's a game I just play when I'm just watching videos and other stuff at the same time, because it's not an action game. You have to, you have no actual movement control of the characters when they're racing or anything. I mean, it's all right. Somehow that took me over that 120 hours to get the ending, so that took me not bad for a game I didn't spend any money on. And that is every game I completed in 2025 in January. So thank you for watching, and long time no see, forever!